So I've got a throwback clip from you guys from 2010 when Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks was still working on MSNBC. Now in the video, he was interviewing Congressman Bob McEwen and called him out for wanting to cut Social Security and raise the retirement age. Now what you're about to see is what real journalism looks like.
Joining me now is former Republican Congressman from Ohio, Bob McEwen. He and I have a bit of a difference of opinion, I suspect, here. Congressman, first of all, let's agree on the facts. $2.5 trillion surplus for Social Security, right?
Well, you just said that they've already spent it, and so therefore either it has been spent and there's nothing there, or the money is sitting there and it's a surplus. We have to decide on one or the other. The fact is that the money's gone.
No. Wait a minute. If we have a debt to China or we have a debt to Saudi Arabia, we have to pay it. Otherwise, the bond market will flip out. They'll say, what are you doing? America's faith and credit has to be met. Now, if we have a debt to the American people, which we do under Social Security, and you want to bilk them on that, well, that also involves our faith and credit. That's not right. And you guys spend it on your tax cuts for the rich and for your senseless, ridiculous wars. How about we get our money back?
Well, either the money is spent or it's there as a surplus. One or the other. Make up your mind. The fact is that it's gone. The fact is that it was in Treasury bonds and it's been consumed and spent, and there is no Treasury. And this year, the abutment that people said for years we would hit has come, and that is we are spending more money this year than it's taking in. Everyone knew it was coming. For 30 years, people predicted it. The day is now upon us.
No,
so we have the options.
No, Congressman, that is a blip in the radar because of the recession. Every economist agrees that it will pay 100% until 2037. Are you disagreeing with all those numbers?
Yes.
Of course you are, because you already spent their money. So you're not going to give it back to the American people, are you? They put it in every year, every single year. That comes out of our paycheck. We put it in, and you're saying we were suckers, that you just took the money and you gave it in tax cuts to the rich, and you're just not going to give it back. Is that what you're saying?
No, not even close. What I'm doing is quoting the Social Security report on August 11th that said that it is $2.5 trillion in the shortfall, as you just mentioned.
Surplus.
And as Bill Clinton said, how do you keep that from happening? The demographics, if you just stop and think a bit, the date of 65 years of age was chosen by Bismarck in the 19th century. 38 years later, when Social Security was established, they took that same date. Of course, we're living 20 years longer than that, and so there is a demographic problem that everybody knew was coming. Everybody knows here, and you can play politics all you want. I was an intern for my predecessor in the 1970s, and you can go to the parking lot of the House and the Senate today and see the same bumper sticker that I saw when I was a kid, and it said, "Vote Democrat, save Social Security." In other words, they've been writing this thing for 30 years. We knew this day would come. It's now here. There's no alternative.
I love the irony of what you just said. Congressman, you just told them you're going to cut their Social Security. You just told them, I'm not going to pay you back. You just told them you're going to raise the retirement age. You said 65 is too young. Now you're saying the Democrats are demagoguing in it? No, they're telling the truth. You just said it.
You wouldn't have had to repeat it if I had said that, because you know that I didn't.
Wait, didn't you just say that raise the retirement age?
Did I just not quote Bill Clinton, who said you do three things?
Okay, but you're saying,
one.
No, put aside Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's not here. I want to know what you think. Should we raise the retirement age?
We have a Chinese menu of options. One of them, as Bill Clinton said, is that you can control benefits.
Forget Bill Clinton.
Stick with me here. No. You can listen. You can listen.
Do you want to raise the retirement age? Do you want to raise it? Yes or no?
I said there's a series of options, and we're not going to take anything off the table if you're smart.
In other words, yes. Of course. You tell me you're not going to cut Social Security. As a Republican, you say you're not going to cut Social Security. Can I get your word on that? That once, if the Deficit Commission says we're going to cut Social Security or raise the retirement age, that your Congressman McEwen, you're going to come back and say, I'm against this commission. They should never do that. The American people put their hard-earned money into that. I'm not going to rob them. Are you going to say that?
That's a cute political attack. That's a cute political attack. You tell me what to do when you're running short of money. What are your options? Let's hear it.
I'll tell you exactly what you do. You know what you do? There are 100 other things to cut.
Let's hear it.
For example,
name one.
Billions in defense contractor waste in defense. Here's one. How about we didn't go into that dumbass war in Iraq and waste $1 trillion when we found 0 weapons of mass destruction? You flushed that down the toilet.
Social Security,
and now
not
you're
your
talking
politics.
about robbing people's Social Security. That is outrageous.
No, not your contempt for America. We're talking about Social Security. Stick to the topic.
America?
What are you going to do about Social Security?
4,400 American lives in Iraq.
You have a shortfall.
have contempt for America.
You have a shortfall in the Social Security. Focus. What would you do about that?
I'm telling you how I would balance the budget, because unlike Republicans, I'm not full of it. I'm telling you, I would raise taxes for the rich. Remember when Reagan cut taxes? When Reagan cut taxes, it was still at 50%,
exactly
and
right.
our economy did well. When we were in our golden age in America, the taxes were between 70 and 90%. I'm not saying we go there, but that was where we built the middle class. That's an option. Here's another option. Stop wasting so much money that's just getting right into the defense contractors' pockets. We spend more on defense than the rest of the world combined. I've got constructive solutions.
For those who defend our country
is to rob Social Security.
Your contempt for those who defend our country is focused. I understand that.
Ridiculous. But I don't want their lives lost. I don't want them being wasted so your defense contractor buddies can make more money.
Let's talk about Social Security. Social Security is the problem.
I already talked about it, and you already told me you're going to cut it.
No, I didn't. I said that there's a series
Chinese
of options.
Menu of options. I know, and you love every one of them.
That's right. And you want to use it for a political issue rather than be an adult.
Be an adult.
Someday you're going to have a child, and when a child's running short of money, then your options.
Congressman McEwen, you are very adult. The way you're going to rob those folks is very adult-like. All right, thank you for joining us.
That was perceptive. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. You heard it for yourself here. Anybody can judge it.
Now, what's great is that Bob McEwen started out very dismissive of pretty much anything that Cenk had to say, but as he went on, I don't know if you heard it, but by the end of it, his voice was actually trembling because Cenk had him so worked up. And that was absolutely great to see, because you never see politicians challenged to this extent. This is really what real journalism looks like. Now, what people fail to realize is that the media are an institution that is supposed to be a check on government corruption. It's supposed to be a check on government tyranny. But currently, the current corporate media establishment is in bed with the political establishment, which is why you don't see this type of real journalism from political pundits. So when a politician does something that really undermines the American people, when he or she is very corrupt, it's the job of the media to call them out. When you think hypothetically, what our country would look like if we actually had a competent media that wasn't in bed with corporate interests, that actually did their job and called politicians out and was a real check on government authority, there would actually be real, I think, accountability if this was the case. But the fact is that the media doesn't care that Sheldon Adelson, the Koch brothers, Warren Buffett, politicians are being bought by billionaires on both sides. They're being bought by corporations on both sides. And if we actually had a media that was competent, that called them out, then our country would look a lot different. So I really wanted to share this clip because I really just cherish it so much, because it's such a perfect example of everything that the media should be. And Cenk Uygur is the best journalist. His reign on MSNBC is legendary, and I really wish that he would actually be able to be part of the mainstream media, but the fact is that will never be the case because he actually does his job, and they don't want people who do that.